Hi, welcome back to this video. We're setting up Centrify Identity Service or Privilege Service, either the SaaS version or the on-premise version, to work as a Radius client. Perhaps today you're using Secure ID or Vasco or maybe a Semantic VIP. And in the previous video, we actually verified that we have a Linux server acting as our Radius server and OTP and is AD integrated. So the first thing we need to do is enable a Radius connection, right? So for you to be able to do this, you need to have a cloud connector that is set up as a enabled for Radius client. So notice that I have a cloud connector that is enabled as a Radius client, right? And if I look at the setup of this cloud connector, notice that I can enable it here as well, right? So we've enabled our cloud connector to act as a Radius client. The next step is we're going to configure the Radius client. So we need to go to Authentication, Radius Connections, right? And we go to the Servers tab, and we're going to add our Radius client configuration. So we need to specify the server. So in this case, all I need to do is press Add, and I need this gray name. For example, it could be, in this case, it's a free Radius, and is running on this CentOS machine. In your environment, you may have something like, pen plus token. In my particular case, is quite simple. So I know there's 192, 168, 8134. I'm using the default ports, and I have the secret already in memory, so I don't have to worry about that. So in this case, now I've finished setup of the client side. Obviously, you need to make sure that both the client and the server can connect over TCP 1812. The next step is to actually enable Radius as a policy. This is a system that I'm going to recycle anyway, so I only have one policy. And you could set it up to apply to certain user populations only. So it's quite powerful to work with this way, because you don't need to worry about, you can do your own test environment with a set of users. So all we need to do is go to user security policies. We're going to go to Radius, right? And we're going to enable third-party Radius here. So let's go ahead and enable it, and we're going to press save. Finally, the fourth step is to actually put the Radius settings in use, and you have to make them available via authentication profiles. So probably in past videos, you've seen me set up either a mobile authenticator or Auth OTP, SMS, and things like that. You can do this through an authentication profile. So what I'm going to do is, and I have many competing VMs here, is that I'm going to enable it for when somebody logs in for the first time. There's a profile that has been pre-created that allows you to do that. So I'm going to go to the new device login profile. And in my case, what I'm doing is I'm asking for a challenge first, and then I'm allowing, if you pass the challenge, to go for the password. So we're going to go ahead and enable that, right? And that's it. Overview of the steps. First and foremost, you need to have a usable cloud connector with Radius client enabled. You must enable it inside the cloud connector. Then you need to set up your Radius client settings, where you specify which one is the server. Then you have to enable a policy, a usable policy, and then use an auth profile. In the next video, we're going to verify.